Hello, 10X, and welcome to your virtual classroom. Well, as you know, in the last class, I gave guidance on how to complete the second of the four P's, which is place, and the worksheets 20, 21, and 22. In this session, I will be focusing on the third of the four P's, which is price. And I will be giving you some guidance on how to complete worksheets 23 and 24. And those will be due not Friday of this week, but by Friday of next week. I will be expecting those. So the sooner you have them done, the faster I can record them on the class tracker, which I have right in front of me now. So again, as I receive these worksheets, I will complete your marks on the scale that I have in front of me, and I will send you copies as proof that I have done so. So looking at price for a moment. There are, as we discussed, four aspects that are crucial to the success of any product in a company. And they are the product itself, the place from which the company decides to sell the product, the price, which is what we're talking about today. And in the next class, we will talk about the particular promotion or advertising strategy that is used. So for today, we're looking at price. We're going to look at supply and demand and how this impacts what we refer to as the equilibrium price. We're going to be looking at various pricing strategies that a company may employ. And you will be able to follow along with me if you would like by looking in iAchieve, and this is starting on iAchieve Unit 1, Session 2, page 10. So the price of a product or service is something that most of us will take into consideration when making a decision to buy. So at a certain price, we're willing to buy, but at a higher price, if it charges too much, then customers may decide not to buy. If a business doesn't charge enough, however, the business will struggle to make a profit. So there are many different circumstances and situations that have an impact on pricing decisions that a business makes. For example, a new business that's trying to compete with many existing businesses might need to charge a reduced price in order to persuade its customers to buy a particular product or service. During that introductory phase, there are many different pricing strategies that could be employed to ensure that enough customers buy a product or service to launch it into the market successfully. Also, businesses need to think about what it costs to make the product and to provide the service, and also what profit it is hoping to achieve. The price that the business charges needs to be enough to cover its costs if it's going to make any profit at all. So there are lots of different pricing methods and strategies, and we'll look at some of those that a business can choose to use. And over time, a business may find itself in different situations as the business is established, as it grows, as it faces challenges from competitors, etc. And in changing circumstances, a business can choose to change its pricing methods accordingly. So we're going to look through some of the most commonly used pricing strategies here. The first one is competitive pricing. So when a business uses this pricing method, it carries out market research to find out what price that is being charged by its competitors, what price is being charged by its competitors for similar products or services. The business then uses this information to work out which price it should charge for its own products or services. The business may choose to charge slightly less than its competitors in an attempt to attract customers away from the competition. So the advantage of this pricing strategy is that the organization can gain a competitive edge over other businesses. However, a disadvantage is that the businesses will make lower levels of profit during the time that competitive pricing is used. So a second strategy is cost plus pricing. So one of the most important things a business must consider when deciding on its price is how much does it cost to make the product or service? So using this pricing method, a business will begin by looking at the costs associated with the product or service and then add the amount of profit, hence the name cost plus, that it wishes to make. The advantage of this pricing strategy is that the business will definitely make a profit on each product that it sells. However, there is no guarantee that at this price, the product will actually sell to its customers. So that is cost plus pricing. The next strategy is penetration pricing. So with penetration pricing, when a new business is starting up, it may need to use a pricing method to persuade customers to try its product or service. It is hoped that customers like the product or service enough to keep buying even when the price increases after the penetration pricing phase. So the penetration pricing method involves a business reducing its prices in order to attract customers away from the competition and penetrate or break into the new market. However, these special offer prices can only be offered for a limited time. Eventually, the business will need to increase prices to ensure that it makes a profit. So this pricing method can be used by an established business, for example, that's launching a new product or service. The next method, this pricing method is made famous by Apple whenever they launch a new product. It's called price skimming. And this is the method that is used by Apple, again, when it launches a new product or service. It's most commonly used in technical markets, such as the mobile phone market, where businesses often launch products with features that competitive products don't have. These new products can be sold for a very high price. For example, the iPhone 11 launched at an extremely high price, as customers are keen to have the latest and best product as soon as it's available. So think about launch of new games console or iPhone. A business cannot use this price skimming method for long. After initial launch, a product can quickly become less popular and customers are less willing to pay a high price for it. So the business will then need, as Apple always does, to reduce the cost eventually for this product or service. The main advantage of this pricing strategy is that it allows an organization to make large profits while competitors are working to enter the market with a competitive product. However, this advantage will only last while there aren't other companies competing for the same customers. So this explains why Apple always launches at a very high price and then reduces that price accordingly. The next pricing method is called promotional pricing. Promotional pricing simply involves reducing a price of a product or service for a brief promotional period. And this method can be used to boost sales by encouraging more customers to buy a product or service, or to get rid of old products to make room for new stock. So promotional pricing might be used on an old item that's coming out of fashion, and you need to reduce your stock of that item, so you offer it for a promotional price. Next is psychological pricing, and you'll see an awful lot of this in convenience shops. This pricing method is used every day, and it's used to make customers feel like they are getting a good deal on a product or service and encourage lots of sales. For example, an item that's priced at £9.99 seems so much cheaper than an item that costs £10, even though there's only a penny difference in the price. You see this on a lot of chocolate bars that are priced at 99 pence versus £1. And lastly, the loss leader. Now, this pricing strategy involves intentionally not making a profit on a product or service in order to entice customers deep into a relationship with that company where other products and services may be offered. A great example of this is the croissants at the back of Lidl. They are very inexpensive. I think you can get 3 possibly for £1, if I'm correct, which is well below the cost that it actually costs to make those croissants. But the smell of them draws you towards the back of the shop where they're sold, and through all of the various other products that you may buy from Lidl on the way. So that is an example of a loss leader. So those are the main pricing strategies. So let's take a look at the effect of supply and demand on pricing. So let's say, for example, a music concert venue has a capacity of 2,000 seats and has estimated the level of demand at different ticket prices. So the price of £15, the quantity demanded will be 1,500. The quantity supplied is 2,000. At £12, the quantity demanded would be 2,000, and the quantity supplied is 2,000. At £10, the quantity demanded would be 2,500, but the quantity supplied is 2,000. So the equilibrium price here is the price at which the quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied. So it's £12. That is the optimum price for these tickets to sell all 2,000 tickets. So you can see again, this is shown on this graph below, and this graph is one that will appear on your exam, or you will be asked to sketch it. So you see the demand falls off as the price increases. So as the price increases, the demand falls. And as the quantity increases, you'll see also the supply increasing. So at the point at which the demand for a product equals the supply of that product, that is called the equilibrium price. And you will be asked to sketch that in your worksheets. So let's take a look at the 2 worksheets that I'm asking for you to complete. These will be due by Friday of next week. But just so that you can get a head start on those worksheets are number 23 and 24. So on worksheet 23, what you're doing first is you're defining supply. What does supply mean in terms of the availability of a product, a good or a service? And what does demand mean in terms of customers wanting that product or service? So give me a definition for each of those using the information that we've just gone over. Then define what the equilibrium price is. What is it in terms of supply versus demand? Is one greater, or is it where they equalize? And that's what goes there. And then in this space, draw a graph illustrating supply, demand, and equilibrium price. And I'll show you a little trick that is quite amazing if you are not a great artist like me. I'm not a great artist. So, for example, I've got this information right here. And what I can use, there are various tools you could use to take a screenshot of this. The tool that we have in school that you have access to as well is called the snip tool. And you can use the snip tool by clicking on the word symbol and then Shift S. And you'll see it does that to your screen. I can now click on a rectangular clip that I want to make. And there it is. And as I say, I'm not a wonderful artist, but I want to get this into the work that I'm producing. So now, in this particular case, I've saved this clip to my clipboard. I now go over to the homework task. I click on where I want it to be, and I click Control V. And there is my drawing. So just a simple little cut and paste trick that gets you the right information in the right place without having to spend a lot of time drawing it. So next, I'll reverse out of that. Next is a case study. So it's a sweet factory. It's produced a new product called the Chomp Bar. I seem to remember actually a bar called a Chomp Bar that was a chewy bar, but this particular one is a delicious mix of chocolate, nuts, raisins, and caramel. And the cost of this product before profit is 50 pence. So that's how much the company pays to manufacture each one. It's your job to decide the correct pricing strategy for the Chomp Bar, and similar bars sell for 60 pence. So read the definitions of the pricing strategies that you have to choose from. You can choose from cost plus. That's when you guarantee your profit margin by putting in an automatic markup. Price skimming. This is where you charge a very high price to begin with, as you suspect there will be a high demand. Or penetration pricing. This is where you charge a very low price as the product is new to encourage customers to try it. So these are the three strategies that they're asking for you to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of each strategy for the Chomp Bar in this case study. And then they're asking you to design a wrapper here, use your art skills, showing the price of the Chomp Bar to draw customers to it. So that is what I need from you on worksheet 23. On worksheet 24, we've got a slightly different set of examples. Again, we've got the Sweet Factory. They produced a new product, the Chomp Bar, delicious mix of chocolate, nuts, raisins, and caramel. The cost of this product before profit is 50 pence, and it's your job to decide the correct pricing strategy. Similar bars sell for 60 pence. So you've got various other pricing strategies below. Psychological pricing, where you price it just below a large amount of money, a significant increase in money. Lost leader, where you price it to make a loss, knowing that you'll make a profit on the other products that customers will be persuaded to buy. Competitive pricing. This is where the business charges similar or the same prices for their products as competitors. Remember that competitors charge 60p for this bar. And promotional pricing. Promotional pricing, limited, time limited, to create a surge in demand for the product. So buy one, get one for 50% off, or buy one, get one free. What is the best pricing strategy? And there's no right answer here. It's just what I want to know is what you think. What is the best pricing strategy for Chomp Bar and why? And then complete the table here going over all of the pricing strategies cited and listing their advantages and disadvantages. And that is it for the homework. So I need that by Friday of next week, please, which is May the 1st, worksheets 23 and 24. And I hope this video has been helpful in helping you to know what I'm looking for as you complete these worksheets. Again, email them to me, please, at si.hobden@hasla.org.uk. And I hope you are doing well, staying safe, and I look forward to the time when we can meet again in the school building. Hope you're doing very, very well. All of my best to you and your family. Take care now.